Yeah, first one. So what am I going to do? The denominator is the same. So what am I going to do on the top? Just add. So what's 2 plus 4? Okay, so we're going to put 6 over 5. Ta-da. That's it. Okay. The next one's a little bit trickier. It doesn't have the same denominator. So we got to think to ourselves, we got 2 and 3. What are multiples of 2 and 3 that are the same? So what do I mean by multiples? Numbers. So like 2 times 1 is, and 2 times 2 is, 2 times 3 is, and 2 times 4 is. Okay, now we're going to take 3 and do those multiples. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is, okay, do we see something that matches up? Okay, so what do I need to multiply by this 2 to make it 6? 3. Okay, so I'm going to multiply by 3 in the top and 3 in the bottom, right? So that's going to give me 3, 6. With me on that. Everybody see where I got that? I multiplied by 3 in the top and 3 in the bottom for that 1/2 so that it has a denominator of 6. Jermaine, that's it. That's it. Oh. Here's a pen. I'm not doing it. All right, on the next one, I want to have this denominator as 6. So what do I need to multiply by to make it 6? 2. So I'm going to multiply by 2 in the top and 2 in the bottom. What's 2 times 4? I'm sorry, 2 times 2, 4. And then 3 times 2, 6. So now we've got 3, 6 minus 4, 6. So what is that going to give us? -1, 6. Y'all, stunned silence is scaring me. Nobody remembers. Multiplying fractions, we just multiply across, and then we simplify. Okay, so what's 3 times 5? 3 times 5. There we go. Okay, now 8 times 6. Anybody know what 8 times 5 is? 40 plus 8 is, there we go. Okay, 8 times 6, that would be 48, right? Yeah? Okay, is there any way to simplify this? Yeah. Can you take out a greatest common factor? What's the greatest common factor from the top and the bottom? 15. Okay, what's 48 divided by 15? That's 3.2. So is that going to work? No. Okay, is there a smaller number that we can take out? 6. Can we divide 15 by 6 in the top? 3 can be in from the top and the bottom, right? What's 15 divided by 3? Okay, and then what's 48 divided by 3? Okay. Ta-da! So when you're multiplying fractions, you're just going to multiply straight across and then simplify. We're going to apply the properties of exponents with rational exponents. Okay, I need you to bear with me. I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible. Okay, it looks complicated. It's really not. Okay. Yay. Don't freak out. Okay, let's continue to revisit the exponent rules, but instead of whole numbers, we're going to use rational exponents. Okay. So yesterday, when we saw something that's similar to this, when we saw something like this, what did you tell me to do? What did I do with the exponents? Added them together, right? Okay, so we added them together and we would have gotten this, right? So we're going to do the exact same thing with these. We're going to take 1/2 and add it to 1/4. Well, what did we learn in our activating strategy? What do the denominators both have to be? The same, right? What are multiples of 2 that are also multiples of 4? not factors, multiples, right? 4. So what can I multiply this 1/2 by to get 4 in the denominator? What can I multiply that 1/2 by to get 4 in the denominator? 2. So I can multiply by 2 in the top and 2 in the bottom. And so when I do that, that's going to give me 2/4 plus 1/4. Now, since they are both the same, I'm going to add straight across. So in simplified form, this is going to be x to the 3/4 power. Let me give you a second to process. Next one, when we had a power raised to a power yesterday, so when we had something like this, what did we do with the exponents? We multiplied, right? Okay, so same thing's going to happen here. We're going to multiply these fractions. So that's going to be 2/5 times 3/2. So 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. Can I simplify that fraction at all? Is there something that both the top and the bottom are divided by? Right? What is it? 2. So we're going to divide both of these by 2. And so that's going to give me 3 in the top and 5 in the bottom. Yeah, 2/2. That's messy, but yeah. On the next one, we've got this division, right? Okay, what did we learn yesterday? What were we going to do on this one? Subtract. Okay, so we're going to take 2/3, because you always take the top, and then subtract the bottom. All right, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not good at subtracting fractions. So what I'm going to show you is a little cheat code. If you go into Desmos Scientific Calculator, I'm going to put 2/3 minus 1/6 is what we're doing. Okay, and what's going to happen is you're going to type this straight into here. So you're going to say 2/3 minus 1/6. It gives me this in decimal form, right? Well, I want it in fraction form. So I'm going to hit this little convert to fraction, and look what it does for me. It already tells me the answer, which is hard for y'all to see because of that. Well, yeah, it's 1/2. Okay, so, ta-da. And I didn't have to do any math. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to get 2/3 minus 1/6 equals 1/2. Let's say for some bizarre reason you couldn't use a calculator. Okay, then what you would do is you would multiply this top one by 2. And that would give you 4/6 minus 1/6. And so that would give you 3/6. And then you would divide the top and the bottom by 2, and that would give you 1/2. I'm sorry, yeah, by 3. I'm done. I'm going home. All right. One thing I do want to stress, a lot of people put 1/2 as the answer. That's not the answer. The answer is D raised to the 1/2 power. Okay, so the final answer would be D raised to the 1/2. A lot of people like to put this as the answer. No, false. Okay. All right, on this last one, what we're going to do is it's a power raised to a power. So we're going to take this exponent and we're going to multiply each one of these exponents. Okay, so we're going to do 4/5 times 3/7 and 2/5 times 3/7. 2/5, yeah.
They have the same denominator.
do it this way, or you could go ahead and subtract these and then multiply the exponents.
If you follow the order of operation, you do parentheses, then the exponents.
Okay, so she's talking about order of operations like PEMDAS. So the first one is parentheses, right? So inside of here, what would you do? Like if there was nothing on the outside, what would you do if you were just given this? You would subtract. So what's 4/5 minus 2/5? 2/5, okay? So now this can be rewritten as x to the 2/5 raised to the 3/7. And now we're just going to multiply once instead of having to do it twice. Okay, so this is going to be 2/5 times 3/7. And you can use your scientific calculator for this one. So again, if you're not comfortable with multiplying fractions, it'll do it for you. But this would give you 6/35. Nothing is divisible on the top and the bottom. Final answer is going to be x to the 6/35. Okay, so let's talk about this one. So yesterday we learned about negative exponents, right? Okay, negative exponents do what? Flip it, okay? So what that means is it flips to the top. It doesn't mean completely flip the fraction. It just means move that one to the other side of the division line. Does that make sense? So like for instance, on this one, this guy's going to go up to the top because it's negative. So this will now be a to the 1/2 times a to the 3rd power. Does that make sense? Now, what operation am I going to do on these? What am I going to do with the exponents? We're going to add the exponents, right? So we're going to do 1/2 plus 3. Let's say I don't want to do any math. I just want to use my calculator, right? So I'm going to go into my Desmos scientific calculator, and I'm going to type 1/2 plus, and you got to be careful about how you type this in, plus 3. That gives me 3.5. If I want to change to a fraction, I'm going to hit convert to a fraction. So that's going to be 7/2. 7/2. So this is going to be a to the 7/2. Ta-da. Yeah. All right, so what am I going to do for the operation on the next one? So we're going to subtract. So we're going to take the top and subtract the bottom. Okay, they have the same denominator, right? So I can go ahead and subtract it. What's 3 minus 8? -5 divided by 5. Can I divide -5 divided by 5? That's going to be -1. So we've got c to the -1st power. Now, your answer choices probably are not going to be written like this. They're going to want you to have positive exponents. So how do I make this guy positive? How do I make the exponent positive? What do negative exponents do to our fraction? Flip it. So we're going to flip our fraction. So this is going to be 1/c. We have something raised to the 0 power. Okay, so we got a negative exponent, we got something raised to the 0 power. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as 2 to the -b, and divided by 1 would just we can just leave that off, right? Okay, So if I have a negative exponent, that means that I'm going to flip the fraction. So that's going to now become 1 over 2 raised to the b power. Okay, so remember how yesterday I told you that anything raised to the 0 power is 1, right? Look at the last problem. It looks super complicated, right? Like they got this d in here, they've got this 2/5 down at the bottom. Looks crazy. One thing I want you to pay attention to, there's a 0 chilling out here. So it does not matter what is inside here, because that means that it's going to be 1, right? There's always a question that comes up either on your final or something that has something like this. Pay attention to the 0 power. That makes your life a little bit easier. In your actual packet, but that's okay. We're only going to do a couple of these problems. Well, guess I'm going to zoom it. Okay. All right, so we're going to practice a couple of these because I know, like, if you don't practice, then you're not going to be good at it. Okay. So I want you to kind of partner up and decide which partner is going to be partner A or partner B. Okay, and I want you to complete these 3 problems. Okay, you should end up with the same answer on the left and the right. So if you and your partner got 2 different answers, you did something wrong. Okay, in your packet, you're just going to put this on the back of that page or down at the bottom. You should have enough room. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so on this first one, partner A, what are we going to do with the exponents? Okay, crickets. Add them. Okay, so we're going to say 3/5 plus 1/3. They don't have the same denominator, so we need to have the same denominator. So what can I multiply these 2 things by in order to have the same denominator? Okay, so I'm going to multiply this guy by 3. I'm going to multiply this guy by 5. Okay, so when I multiply that out, that's going to give me 9 over 15 plus 5 over 15. And now I'm going to add straight across. So that's going to give me 14 over 15. That's not the final answer. The final answer is written out as x raised to the 14 over 15. Okay, if you do not want to do all of that fraction nonsense, use your scientific Desmos calculator. Okay, there's no reason why you should get any of these fractions wrong. All right, on partner B, what am I going to do? Multiply. So I'm going to take 2/5 and multiply it by 7/3. When I multiply straight across, I'm going to get 14 over 15. So my final answer will be x raised to the 14 over 15. Notice how these 2 things are the same. Okay, what would I do on the next one? On partner A? Multiply. What would I do on partner B? Okay, what would I do on partner A down here? And then what would I do around here? Add. Okay, you can do those operations using that scientific calculator. Biggest thing is knowing which operation to do. Okay. Last little thing, and I know the bells are going to ring in just a second. These are the types of questions you're going to see most often. I need you to take a look at this really quick. Simplify this expression. This is where we're going to pick up tomorrow. Well, Monday. You know what I mean. Okay, this is what you're going to see most often. Okay, it is possible. Don't freak out about the letters. Okay,